Welcome to the Binge Eating Reset. You are now on step 22. And if you've been following every single video up to this point, then you've probably started to notice something that so many people spend years and sometimes even decades without ever really seeing. The urge to eat is usually not really about food at all. You've learned to pause for just a moment before automatically reaching for something to eat. You've learned to notice your feelings. You've discovered that food is often a way to soften stress, sadness, loneliness, or emotional overwhelm for just a little while. And maybe because of that, you've also started to judge yourself just a little bit less. Because you're not weak. You really are not weak. And you're not missing discipline either. Your brain simply learned a long time ago that food helps. That's all it is. And that brings us to a completely new chapter in this series. Up until now, we've mainly been looking at why food cravings happen, why they show up, and why they keep coming back. But starting today, we're going to look at something that may actually be even more important. What do you truly need when that urge to eat suddenly shows up? Because if food isn't really the need, then what is? That is the question we're going to explore together today. Think back for a moment to the last time you had an incredibly strong urge to eat. Maybe it happened after a long, busy day at work. Maybe it happened after somebody said something that hurt you. Maybe it happened when you finally sat down on the couch at the end of the day. Or maybe it happened when you were feeling completely alone. At moments like that, it feels as if your body is asking for food. But is it really? Or is your body actually asking for something completely different? Maybe what you're really longing for is rest. Maybe you're looking for comfort. Maybe you simply want somebody to ask how you're doing. Maybe you need a hug. Or maybe you just need 10 quiet minutes where nobody expects anything from you at all. Those are very different needs than food. And yet so often we try to solve those needs by eating. Not because we're foolish, not because we're weak, but because our brain learned a long time ago that food gives quick relief. And the truth is, it actually does. For a little while, for a few moments, it really does make you feel a little better. But it never solves the real need underneath. And that's exactly why the urge keeps coming back again and again. And that's why starting today, I'd like to give you a brand new exercise. An exercise that is incredibly simple, but one that can truly change so much. Every single time you notice the urge to eat, ask yourself this question first. This urge to eat, what I'm really longing for is. And then simply finish that sentence. Maybe it's rest, maybe comfort, maybe connection, maybe recognition, maybe distraction, maybe safety, maybe control, maybe energy, maybe love, or maybe simply a break. There is no right answer. And there is no wrong answer either. The goal isn't to immediately find the perfect solution. The goal is simply to become honest with yourself. Because for years you've probably only looked at the food. I snacked again. I ate too much again. I messed everything up again. Those were probably the thoughts going through your mind. But starting today, we're no longer looking only at the food. We're going to look at what's underneath it. We're going to look at what your mind and your body are actually trying to tell you. And that changes everything. Imagine discovering that what you really need is rest. Then you don't have to keep asking yourself why you're craving chocolate so badly. Instead, you can ask yourself how you can give yourself 5 or maybe 10 minutes of real rest today. Maybe you'll discover that what you truly need is connection. Then a good conversation might be far more valuable than a bag of chips. Maybe you'll discover that what you really need is comfort. Then you can ask yourself how you can be just a little kinder to yourself today. Not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Just kind. And maybe you'll discover that you're actually completely exhausted. That you don't need more willpower at all. What you really need is sleep. Or a break. Or maybe just a little time where absolutely nothing is expected from you. Those are the moments when you slowly begin to understand yourself better and better. And the better you understand yourself, the less you have to fight against yourself. Now that doesn't mean the urge to eat suddenly disappears. Of course it doesn't. Everyone has difficult days. Everyone experiences emotions. Everyone looks for comfort sometimes. That's part of being human. But starting today, you're learning something completely new. You're learning to listen first, before you react, instead of reacting automatically right away. And that alone can already make such an incredible difference. Because maybe you'll discover that food was never really the enemy. Maybe food spent years trying to help you. It simply helped in a way that no longer works for you anymore. And now it's time to teach yourself something new. Not by fighting harder. Not by becoming stricter with yourself. Not by blaming yourself even more. but by becoming curious, by gently asking yourself the same question again and again. What am I really longing for? That's your exercise for the next few days. Every single time you notice the urge to eat, finish this sentence. This urge to eat, what I'm really longing for is. Write down just one word. That's all you have to do. Nothing more. Rest, comfort, connection, recognition, distraction, safety, control, energy, love, or simply a break. I'm really curious to see which need comes up most often for you. Feel free to share it with me down in the comments below. Not because you have to explain yourself, and not because you need to justify anything, but because your story might help somebody else who recognizes themselves in exactly the same situation. Sometimes just reading one comment can make somebody realize they're not alone. And that can make a huge difference. Thank you so much for taking this step together with me today. I truly appreciate you being here. And in the next video you'll discover why so many people believe they simply need more willpower, when in reality that isn't the problem at all. So make sure you watch Binge Eating Reset 23 as well. You don't have to be strong to stop binge eating. I'd really love to see you there.